I'm back! It's your host, Sam, with Gen Z Reviews. Do you have a NewSoul? Well, now you can get one with this portable monitor. Now, let's get to the unboxing, review, and demonstration, as well as my thoughts, and see how it can be used. They give me the dull knife because they don't want me to hurt myself. Seems like there's a reoccurrence in being given dull cutting utensils so I don't hurt myself. So, it's really squeaky. Here's the side. And the back. Or bottom, back, bottom. And now, you lift the lid. Ta-da! They provide a little piece of foam in here. I think it's, oh yeah, it's like glued down to protect the device. And we have the display itself. So let's get this open. Oh, look at that. They provide a nifty little case already attached to said monitor. It's attached via magnets, so kind of like the, not kind of, exactly like the previous display I reviewed, the Lepow display. And they have like a little plastic temporary screen protector. This is a 15.6-inch IPS HD monitor. If you're wondering what IPS means, here's a brief definition. IPS is in-plane switching, and it leverages liquid crystals aligned in parallel to produce rich colors. If you'd like or need more information on IPS displays, I've provided a link in the description below. While it's not directly from this manufacturer's website, you can always use your favorite search engine to get more information. This is also being marketed as full high definition, or FDH. I've never heard of full high definition monitors. And with the brief info found, FDH is a screen resolution of 1920 by 1080, which is the HD TV standard. Correction! I said FHD, FDH. I meant FHD. I think I might have a little bout of dyslexia. I apologize. It's FHD, full high definition, not full definition high, or whatever else you might want to use that acronym for. It also features, I forgot to mention as well, it also features an eye care screen. Again, never heard of eye care screens, but in doing a bit of research, it is a feature to reduce symptoms of CVS, and I'm not talking about CVS pharmacy. Don't get your medicine. CVS is computer vision syndrome, which is basically just a fancy term for tired, fatigued eyes, or when you get headaches from staring at your computer screen for too long. That's all for the monitor at the moment until we get it plugged in and take a look at its features. Included in the box is included is the portable monitor user manual. There's your warranty card at the back, FAQ and solution, function introduction. What else is here? Your OSD menu instructions, installing the stand and case, even though it just sticks on with a magnet. the way you're supposed to hold it. Apparently there's a very specific way. Shows you how to prevent damage to the machine, preventing injuries. Function of the main accessories, interface, function, introduction. So it shows you all the functions of the buttons. Trying to not get the glare on it. So it's fairly in-depth for the most part, which is pretty good, so that's nice. They provide, what's in here? Oh, there's your brick for power, obviously. I don't think it's, I don't think you plug that into your computer. Here we have, I believe this is the C to C cable. C to shining C. Here we go. Blurry. But there's your C to C cable. They also provide what I believe is, yeah, this is standard HDMI. This is standard to standard HDMI. And they provide little covers so that the plugs don't get damaged. And they also provide what looks like an A to C cable. Yep. And I believe that's it. Anything underneath? Nope. Just empty. Now I'm going to go get this hooked up to a video source, and I will be right back to show what the display looks like and its OSD functions. I'm back. I'm going to remove this screen protector, if you want to call it that. This is really only just for shipping protection. It does not come with a proper screen protector, but I'm sure with enough searching you could find one that'll work just great for this little portable display. I took the time to get everything all hooked up with what little room I have to work with. I have my Windows 10 Potato laptop hooked up via HDMI, standard. A second generation iPad Pro hooked up with a C to C cable. And the power, which is hooked up to the provided power brick, which is 3 amps or more. Also, on this side here, we have a mini display port, which I do not have, so unfortunately I cannot demonstrate that. Alas, I was not prepared. I wasn't expecting a mini display port on this device. So, there's also a 3.5mm headphone jack and the speaker on one side. And then on the other side here, we have the other speaker and a mini USB, which is not to be used for power. It will not work. It's made to basically hook up keyboards or a mouse, but do not use it for power. It will not work. Here we have the buttons for navigating the device. The bottom one here is to exit the OSD. The one above it is the OSD itself. Then you have volume and brightness up and down, and the power button. On this side here, it's also labeled. You have the HDMI, your mini display port, like I mentioned, the Type-C for the video source, the headphone jack, and then this is for power. This is very specific. It will not work the other way around. The top one must be used for power. This one must be used for video source. Also, I almost forgot. I almost neglected to mention, you notice on the back here, this is VESA mount compatible, if you will, so you can hook this up to a VESA mount. Now I will power up the display. And I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play the videos from the two separate sources.
Last night while working on my computer, aka my larger kind of potato, not really potato computer, I heard my monitor went black and it died. It died. So I'm going to move this out of the way and we're going to get to the unboxing of the monitor I just purchased. Today I went to the local micro center and I picked up this Asus Tough Gaming VG1B series 27-inch or 68.6 centimeter curved monitor. This is what's included. You have your base, your 4 feet base. You have the HDMI cable, your VIP member notice thing, whatever that may be, your power cable, your assembly instructions.
Now I'm going to switch video sources over to the iPad I have connected, but in order to do that, you must go through the OSD. So we're going to pull up the OSD, which is just, like I said, second button from the top on the left-hand side. There's your OSD. And while we're here, we'll go through it. So in the first category here, we have our brightness, contrast, oops, took too long, eco, sharpness, and DCR. Next one down, we have the aspect ratio, color temp, red, green, blue, or you can select if it's warmer, cooler, or user. You can set it to your preference. We just go back and hit the exit button once just to go back to the categories on the left-hand side. We have the OSD settings, language, OSD H position, believe that's horizontal and vertical, that makes sense, H and V. You have the OSD timer, so you can set it for 10 seconds, however long you want it to stay on screen. I don't really want it to stay on there that long, but maybe in this case we'll have it stay on a bit longer. If I can get it. There we go. And then the transparency, it's currently at 0, but that's basically for how transparent you want the OSD to be. You could have it completely transparent so you barely see it, or completely opaque so you can see everything. Then we have reset. You have auto power down, HDR mode, or just an overall reset. If you're looking to give it away or sell it, or just to reset all the settings to default. And miscellaneous. You have your signal source, low blue light, volume, and FreeSync. This is FreeSync compatible. So obviously we're going to switch our signal source to Type C. Okay, I tried this before. I'm not sure why it didn't work this time. Some minor technical difficulties. Please hold. Back again! After doing a bit of off-camera testing, I discovered that the way you're actually supposed to switch video sources is through the buttons on the side. You're supposed to hit the lowermost button, which is technically the exit button. And if you focus up in the upper right hand corner here, well, it's focusing on my hand, but up in the upper right hand corner, you see that little mini OSD. Through that, you use the, what is supposed to be the volume up down buttons to navigate it. So you go down, and there you have HDMI, then you press what's supposed to be the button that brings you to the OSD, which could also double as the enter button. Press that, et voila, HDMI. And we'll do it one more time. So exit button again, we go up to type C, and hit the menu / enter button. And voila, type C. If I sound a bit exasperated, it's because this was a pain. It should have been in the manual, but it isn't. I mean, for the most part, this little user manual is pretty comprehensive. It offers a fair bit of information, except for this. Now, before I even attempted to show you the switching of the OSD, or not the OSD, switching of the video source via the full OSD, it worked with 0 issues. I had no problem. And I just don't understand why now there was an issue. So, back to our regularly scheduled program. I will play a video via the iPad to demonstrate the speaker through there.
Le POW portable display Z1 series. Say that because it sounds like it's supposed to be French. This is the quasi unboxing, and I say that because I've already broken the seal and opened it up just to get things moving along. So I'll open this up and show what's included and demonstrate how it works. And we can go through what's included. They give you this piece of like foam to...
Okay, so that was the sound via the dual speakers on the display itself. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do is plug in a 3.5mm headphone into the jack here, and I'm going to attempt to bring the headphones up to the camera and see how well it'll pick up and how well it sounds.
To pad the display itself so that when it's shipping, it doesn't bounce around to get cracked or broken or anything like that. So that's nice. Obviously, the display, if you don't have the display, you need to contact whoever you bought it from and tell them that you don't have the display you ordered. They put it in a little foam baggie to further protect it. They do also provide a kind of quasi screen protector. It's not the greatest, it's a little bit flimsy, but as long as it protects your screen from scratches or anything like that. I've already applied the screen protector, and come on, where's the light? There we go. I may have gotten a few bubbles in it. Oopsie. I inadvertently got some dust stuck underneath it, which is causing the bubbles. So, I tried my best. Also and the hardware to marry the monitor to the foot feed base. As I continue the unboxing, I will now marry the monitor to the foot feet. But first, I must remove the plastic. Like cutting the ribbon at a grand opening. so slowly dying, so kind of gotta move it on.
Okay, so that was also just a little test of switching back to the HDMI video source and demonstrating the sound through the headphones. Even not wearing the headphones, that was pretty loud. And even just the speakers on the device itself are very loud. So that was pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting it to be that loud. But they also sound a little bit tinny. There's a lot of sibilance there. Otherwise, it sounds pretty good. After a bit of use, I'll be back with another video to give some more info, kind of like an update, you know, show or tell how it's working. And while we're here, we will also be measuring the thickness of the display, since it is a bit thicker than the other one I currently have. Not sure how well you're going to be able to see that. It looks to be roughly a ½ inch thick, which is pretty thick for a little portable display. And we're also, well, me and the mouse in my pocket. I'm gonna weigh it as well, but first I'm going to just unplug everything. There's some fairly tight connections, which is nice. And we're gonna put that in view. Wait for it to turn on. And there you have it. It's just over 2 pounds. 2 pounds, 3 ounces. It's pretty hefty for what it is. But it also feels like it's just made very well. So what are my thoughts? Well, first and foremost, for the price of what is normally $269, currently, as of making this video, $149.99 due to a 44% discount, with a $20 coupon, which I'm not sure how long will last. I would say it's not a bad deal. The design, while very simple, it's nice. You have the brushed aluminum. There's a random line on the bottom of the display, which I don't know why. There's a hole that I don't know what's... Oh, it's too big. But you can... I don't know how well you can see. I need something smaller. The overall color, as far as the image is concerned, is nice. It's very rich, deep in color. The black is very black. It's not gray. You can see the green is actually like a deep, almost forest green. It's nice. It looks good. There's a variety in signal source. You have USB-C, you have standard HDMI, you have mini DisplayPort. So you have quite the variety if you don't have one or the other. The speakers, while they don't sound the greatest, they're very tinny, they're loud. And it did shock me, because I was not expecting a portable display to have speakers that were so loud. So that was shocking. And, you know, I liked the fact that they were loud. So if I'm watching something, I don't have to make sure it's completely silent around me so I can hear whatever it is I'm watching or playing, if I'm playing a game. I like the idea of the buttons. It's much better than having a rocker of some kind or anything like that. I like the idea of the buttons. It's very simple. It's easy to understand. So long as you know what each button does, once you get the feel of it, you can just mess around with the buttons however you need to, and you don't have to constantly look at the back to figure out, okay, this button was for what again, which one was the OSD button, yada yada. I like the idea that it has a VESA mount. It can be used as a second monitor for your computer. You can move it around, do whatever you have to do with it. So that's really good and definitely pretty useful for people who do have VESA mounts. I personally do not have one, but it's nice that it's there as an option. You can hook this up to your console or your mobile devices. You can use it as a monitor to play your games, or if you're traveling, you can use it with your mobile device to have a bigger screen, or just have a second screen if you want to share with somebody. The OSD. I wish it were explained better in the user manual that you had to use the buttons on the side as opposed to the OSD. It's the full OSD to switch between video sources. But otherwise, that's not that big of a deal breaker for me. It still works well. It's once you get the hang of it, once you understand that you do indeed need to use the mini OSD that pops up to switch video sources, it's, very simple, stupid. And the fact that it has a micro USB where you can plug in a keyboard or a mouse or a combination keyboard and mouse so that you can do what you got to do on the go. Type up documents, write an email. Disclaimer. I made this video to help others. I do help others by finding information.
How about now for my disclaimer?
What about now for the disclaimer?
Okay.
Now for the disclaimer. I made this video to help inform others about this portable display. I give my opinion on this product, and it's just my opinion. I'm not an expert in the field, and others' opinions may differ. I can't help it if they're wrong. To keep my reviews independent and free of conflicts of interest, my personal policies for reviews are: this video receives no payment or other compensation for advertising. This video receives no payment or other compensation for reviews of products or services. If I did not pay full retail price for a product being reviewed, I will explicitly state that in the review. However, any and all Amazon links are affiliate links. The channel does receive a small commission for any purchases at no additional cost to you, the buyer. Acceptance of a free sample does not guarantee a favorable review. My rule of thumb is I'm not going to embarrass a supplier or product manufacturer or the retailer, but I will call out any scams or if it may seem as though it is. When I review a product, whether I like it or not does not factor into my review. It is whether or not the product is useful, worth the cost, or it's of quality. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, but please be cordial. We're here to have fun and find information. And I will see you all in the next one. Hope to see you there. Bye-bye.